Hey guys, and welcome back to my Let's Play of the PlayStation 2 and Wii version of Sonic Unleashed. Now it is time for our last set of Gaia Gates. Finally! We can finish these things off. And we have just one more left to do over in Shamar. Everything else is in Adabat, because 3 of them require... 3 out of the 4 doors require 69 moon medals, so they have to be post-game. This one is one of the more confusing ones. And you got to make a lot of uses of these switches. In the last part, I said that one of the ones in Shan'an, the one I did in Shan'an, or one of them, can be quite difficult and you can mess it up. I was actually thinking of this one, so sorry about that. That one is actually very easy. But this one can be quite easy to mess up if you don't do things in the right order. So we have a lot of conveyor belts that we're going to be using. We've got to get Sonic to run along. Really, you just got to think about what you're doing. Just leave the crates where they are. Well, leave the crates on the switches once they're there. And that's really all you have to do. There's the same number of crates as there are switches. So that should be all you have to worry about. You might be able to heavy attack your way over that pit. Maybe. Probably not, actually. Maybe you can boost. I don't know, but we don't have a boost. So, we're not really going to be able to do that. Like, the rings always respawn, so maybe that works. I don't know. It's going to be a while before we can get to that one. There are going to be times across all of these Gaia Gates where I'm going to be like, now where do I go next? Because I never commit these things to memory. Like, I still don't know exactly how I get to everything, despite the number of times I've played this game. Most of the item boxes, yes. But the Gaia Gates, not so much. I do not remember how I access all of these things. Come on, platform. You do wish that they could just go a little bit faster. I get that these things have to give you time to jump on and off of them, but can't they go a bit faster? Especially Shadow the Hedgehog, where some of them are awfully slow. Right, I did have the right mindset with this one, but for some odd reason, it wasn't letting me run off. There is no reason that I am... Like, there is a platform there that I should be able to just go right onto. But for some reason, it wasn't letting Sonic get onto the platform. And I have no idea why. So now I have to... And then I was thinking, I'm sure that's what I had to do. And it is exactly what I had to do. So I don't know what was going on with the collision detection there. Why there was some sort of invisible wall. So now I have to wait for the platform to come back. And then ride the platform all the way over there again. So let's try this again. That's better. Don't know what was going on before, because it looked like the platform was on the same level. Like it wasn't slightly raised up or anything like that. I don't think I actually needed to jump off of that, but anyway. I think I could have just gone to the side. The radar's there. It tells you where there's a bottomless pit and where there isn't. Well, it should do anyway. This is the only version with a radar as well. The HD version doesn't have a radar. But you see this? This is what I could have been useful in Shadow the Hedgehog. A radar. Or a map. Or anything that could actually tell you where the freaking item boxes are. Definitely would have been useful. Sonic 06 has a radar as well, but it's only in the hub world. I don't think it exists in the main stages. And in the hub world, it's so small and the hub worlds are so huge, it's pretty much useless. Like, it tells you where the people you can talk to are, but that's it. Some town missions that can show you where the items are, but again, it covers such a small area that it's all around useless. It still baffles me that Shadow the Hedgehog had a radar. You can see it in images, in of like some slightly older versions of the game. Why did they take that out? I don't understand where that logic comes from. Why would you take out something that vital? Especially with level designs in Shadow the Hedgehog, The Doom, Mad Matrix, especially Mad Matrix's Dark Mission. For the first time ever, I tried doing that one without a guide. Without following any sort of walkthrough or anything like that. And it took me forever. For freaking ever. I think eventually I got so bored I actually did get the walkthrough out. But that doesn't help when I've already got to try and find my way back through the Matrix to get to the right bit. Beats me where I'm going. That Matrix does drive me mad. It makes me mad. Both versions, be it crazy mad or angry mad. Why did they get rid of the radar? Not sure how useful it actually would have been, but you know, anything is better than nothing. See the treasure hunting missions. SA1. It can detect all 3 emerald pieces at once. SA2. It can only detect 1 emerald piece at once. In way bigger levels. That was annoying. Stupid way of planning out game time. 06. Gets rid of the medals entirely. With areas that are just as big as Sonic Adventure 2. What is with Sonic Team and radars? They would be really useful, but for some reason the Sonic Team don't like using radars after Sonic Adventure. No matter how useful they are. Until this one. But even then, this is the one that Sonic Team... It was only partly Sonic Team. And also partly Dimps, as opposed to the HD version. That doesn't have a radar. I think. I might be misremembering. Does it have a radar? I mean, in the end, I don't think it matters. I can't remember if it has a radar or not. I haven't played the HD version for a while. At some point, I will get back to it. But not right now. Playing Heroes now. I finished Shadow the Hedgehog. The little the wheel I was using for my 100% playthroughs of every 3D Sonic game, goal that I've been meaning to do for a while. It landed on Heroes next. So I went from the bad one to the good one at the very least. Mind you, this playthrough of Heroes has not been going well. It's glitched out on a number of occasions. I was doing Bullet Station. I was playing Team Dark. I landed on one of the trains in the tunnels. After going off of one of the poles. Landed on the train, did the Team Blast to get rid of the enemies charging towards me, and everything zoomed out, and then I could hear Rouge doing the same sound effects she would do if she fell down a bottomless pit. I was like, how have I done that? I didn't clip through the train. Like, I was on the train when I did the Team Blast. Why have I died? What killed me? But that's exactly what happened. I died. And I don't know how. That is Crash Twin Sanity levels right there. That is killing me for simply walking on the floor. I thought only Crash Twin Sanity was broken enough to do that. Okay, there's also clipping through the floor. But, I don't know, somehow I actually find walking on the floor and dying worse. Beats me and what happened there. Twice in a row, even. Crash to Insanity is the best Crash game ever made. No, it's not. It really, really is not. I wish I could attribute it to maybe being the condition of the disc, but that is my... If that's the case, then it's my only video game where the disc is causing the issues. Because I've got several games with old discs and they're not in the best state. It amazes me that the SpongeBob movie game even still works with the state of the disc. I don't know how that's happened, by the way. I don't ever do anything to my discs. I simply have them inside the console or inside the case. So how the disc is in such a state, I don't know. But it is. Somehow. And that disc is really scratched up, but it still works. I think it's crashed on me like one time. That's it. This is not like Battle for Bikini Bottom where it didn't give me the last spatula so I couldn't win. Well, I could win, but I couldn't get 100%. I've had a few games that are now on my second copy because they did not work. But at the very least in those games, it's just that they stopped working. It wasn't like they started having a bunch of weird glitches occur. Not sure which is worse, but still. Like, I'm on my second copy of The Simpsons Hit and Run. That really started getting bad. That started messing with my cousin's console when I tried it on theirs. And they're interestingly enough, their PS2 broke shortly afterwards. Coincidence? I think not. What others have I got? Burnout 2 has got a weird glitch where it's making some of my scores on the profile menu glitch out, and it causes the game to crash. Scooby-Doo Mystery Mayhem. That one is on its second disc. I can't remember what happened with that one. Is that all of them? I think that's all of them. I'm looking across it now. Oh, Shrek 2, that one started glitching out. I couldn't start one of the levels. It just kept freezing, and then eventually it was struggling to start some of the other levels. Which is a shame because I really like that game. Many years later, I got it again. And now I really don't like that game. SpongeBob Revenge of the Flying Dutchman had its own set of problems on the PS2 version in general. Same story though. Liked it when I first played it, before it started freezing every single time, and go back to it eventually on the GameCube version. Jesus Christ, it is awful. It is absolutely awful. Okay, officially now, I think that's all of them. I'm looking across. No. No, that's all of them. But at least then, it was actually the game just didn't want to work. It wasn't like, why is it causing me to die in place? Crash to Insanity is just freaking broken. You know, Coco kills you. She's paralyzed in Cortex's lab, and if you run into her without a mask, she kills you. Why has she got a hitbox in the first place? The only thing that should happen with that sort of hitbox is, you know, she should be a solid object. You don't want to just pass right through her. But why does the hitbox kill you? Why has it got that programming in it? Where the hell did that come from? Touch damage is something that needs to die. Because it's not like it makes any sense. I've asked this question before. Why is Mario perfectly capable of jumping on top of a Goomba, but he can't hit it from the side? What's the difference? Is it because one way it's his shoe? It's still his clothes are hitting the Goomba first. It's not like the Goombas are doing anything. In fact, in more modern games, the Koopa Troopers are freaking dancing and... I hit the table again. Are freaking dancing and smiling, but they still kill you upon impact. It's like, Unleashed is the only Sonic game without touch damage. It's weird. Like, this game does not have touch damage. Be it with the... It might just be because of the Werehog and then they just didn't change it for Sonic. But none of the enemies have touch damage. Sonic can just run up, touch an enemy, run into them, walk into them. The enemy has to physically attack Sonic in this game. But either version of this is the only time it's happened. We're back to touch damage with colours. And Black Knight, I think. And then everything else after that. Except maybe Boom. I'm not sure about Boom. I think that's like one exception, but again, Boom is also for a completely different gameplay style. Even then, it would only be Rise of Lyric, because touch damage is in Shattered Crystal and Fire and Ice. Past me. Wrong direction. Go up the slope past me. Yesterday me. Right, unfortunately I gotta switch around again. I believe this is our last item box. And then it's just the missions. No more Gaia Gates. This is our last room. This is the one, for once I was actually able to do this the proper way. This is the one that always confuses me the most. I always get really lost in what it is I'm supposed to do. Even in the test playthrough, I did it with some very, I consider it to be very impressively timed boosts. Not boosts, because I was the werewolf. Some very well timed dash jumps. That's what I considered them to be anyway. And there we go, that is every Gaia Gate cleared. It's finally done, that's every single one. It's just the missions from here on out. We have 2 in Arid Sand, 2 in Eggman Land, 3 in Eggman Land, and 1 in Jungle Joyride. And then that's it, that's everything, it's just in the extra part. All of the Gaia Gates are done. I managed to get every item box in the stages and the missions with all the S ranks intact. With all the S ranks at the same time. Don't bother doing that. I don't know if you need the S ranks, but don't get them all with all the items at the same time. But I will see you guys next time with our first set of missions.